So, it just man, it's just crazy. I just thought I don't know if we'll actually release this video. I It's just crazy. It's unprecedented. It's just everything is just what won't be the same. It's just crazy. It's everything just recently. It's just like exponentially. Just this has led to this. This has led to this. I just watched Casey Neistat's video on the coronavirus, and I thought I would just do one, just reflecting from my perspective as a New Zealander on just sort of what I've seen in my experience. Just because it'll be like it's just I don't know. It's just insane. I just hope that in 2 years it's far sooner than that if possible. But it will, as soon as possible, it will just be all over. It will all be done. It will all be finished. A cure will be found, a vaccine will be found, and it will just be the disease, corona, will be eradicated. It's just so crazy. I've never seen anything like it in my life. And yeah, I know I'm pretty young, so relatively I won't have seen much, but it's such a weird time, and it's just like the threat itself is just it's like we're against it as a disease, like with wars, there's two different sides, but it's like no, this is like defeating coronavirus. It's so weird. It's just so strange. Just everything and I think yeah, because I think I had heard about it in January. I'm not sure though. Maybe it was February. I heard it, and as like Casey, it was just in the back of my mind, like the other diseases like Ebola or SARS or whatnot, and this will just be a little thing, and they'll get rid of it and that. And even if you look at Google search trend, Google Trends, it sort of was picking up, and then I think it was in January, it just started, or February, it started to drop off in interest, and then all of a sudden, it just went shooting up. And I think, yeah, the moment that, and because I'd heard about it, and I heard it a couple of times on the radio, still, I was like, oh, they're still talking about it. This was in January or February, and that. I was like, oh, it's obviously still there. And then it was that day, the very day the NBA players. And oh yeah, there was three things. There was in the US, all the borders, not all the from Europe, all bar the UK was shut down. Tom Hanks got it, and the other thing, the NBA, all the games weren't running. This. It was the same moment then, because I was listening to it on the radio while driving, and it was like, oh my goodness, that's insane. Like that's like when Tom Hanks got it. It's like flip, and all the games cancelled, flip, and then and then all the borders, from Europe to. It was like, this is serious. And so it was like, man, and then it was just that was just the radio non-stop 24/7 ever since. And from what I've listened to, obviously these parts that may not have had it, but it was just everything I listened to, just every single newspaper headline. I remember opening up Google on my app, and it was just like over half the articles were just coronavirus. And on stuff.co.nz today, the top 10 articles, coronavirus, every single one of them was coronavirus. It's just unbelievable just how quick everything's changed. And it's just every headline, every news, it's the main thing every time. And it's just to the point that I haven't heard anything other than coronavirus on the news in so long. It's so crazy. And it's just yeah. And so now in New Zealand, it's like it was Saturday. Well, because I'm just trying to. It's crazy. It was just not long ago, but so much has already changed in just that time. So it really has. It really has, because it was just on Monday I did the Heyday Pop stream for the first time, and then Saturday. Saturday was there was the big announcement, and I'm just trying to think, because if anything happened on Friday. On Saturday was the massive announcement in New Zealand, and our Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern made an announcement about how it was, because we had 4 tiers in New Zealand that had been created for New Zealand, and just what is the situation, and this was just Saturday. That was just 2 days ago. This was like 48 hours ago. Man, it's crazy. And just then it was sort of like, okay, we're going to start, people that, elderly people over 70, if they can please self-isolate. And oh yeah, that's right. And then there was like earlier, there was like, you can't meet if it's over 500, and then on Saturday it was you can't meet if it's over 100 people. It's like flip. And so it was just, everything was just changing like so quickly in that, and so, and then it was, and then Sunday, which was just yesterday, there was more announcements just coming out all through the day, of all sorts of different things and that. And then Monday, this year is the day that is just, in New Zealand, this has just been the biggest day of all time. Because because in China it's slowed down, but in other countries it's getting really bad, And then, in New Zealand today, this day, the 23rd of March, has probably been the biggest day. The last 72 hours have been the biggest in New Zealand. And again, that's very specific to New Zealand, although there would be a massive overlap in how serious it's getting overseas as well. But in New Zealand, in the last 72 hours, on Saturday, yesterday, which was Sunday, and Monday, today have been like the three massive days. And today it went from level 2, and then now it's going to level 3, and then it will be level 4, which and so that means that all the schools are going to shut, like the universities and polytechnics are going to shut, the like businesses, and so it's just going to be mainly non-essential ones, and all the other businesses are slowly starting to shut, and this has just all happened like literally just today. It's just the shut, and everything's just going to shut down. So today was sort of the last. It was weird because it's a Monday, so you think that it would have been the Sunday that then as a new week started. But so this is sort of the last normal. But it wasn't normal today. Like, yeah, I remember, on Sunday I went and got a Subway, and it was like, there's so many spare parks in the car park and that, and I went and got the Subway, and the guy's like, I was like, it's quiet, and he's like, yeah, it's been so quiet today, and this was yesterday, and then now it's just like, and as of yesterday, lots of people were starting to self-isolate as of yesterday, and now it was like just like everything's just like there's a massive announcement, and then went to the supermarket and got some yeast. There was only and some stocks are starting to sell it. New Zealand's okay for most. Oh no, even on Sunday, no, things were selling out. They're like, well, toilet paper we actually have got enough, but other things like baking powders run out. I think crackers have run out. Yogurt powders run out. And a whole heap of other things, and then other things that are just like are related, but like not nearly as important. Like for example, the stock price for the company Zoom has massively increased, which is like the equivalent of Skype. So huge interest in Skype, and that webcams have gone up in price. And in New Zealand, it's like gone down like so much. Like I think it's like a half or a third of what it was. I think same with Tesla, and just dropping stocks massively. And then today it was this announcement and that, and they're like things were selling, and it was just lots of people there. And again, it could just be that spot, but I take it was a general thing because things were selling out and that, and so they put limits. So for example, yeast, you could only get like one little jar of yeast, and that, which was about $4 to $5, like $4.60 or something, and then it's like, and now it's like everyone's just recommended to just, everywhere. So it's So unless it's like essential things, you have to stay at home, and it's like it's just insane. Like it's just gone like from everything's like mostly okay in terms of like transport and like movability, and then yesterday there was like restrictions, and now it's like just today, just total clampdown. Everyone will be staying at home. Obviously there's still things still going. Petrol stations, supermarkets. I did actually get a package today, so the courier service is still working as of today, and then there's other obviously medical is still working and stuff like that, but all schools are shutting down, and just everything shutting down. I think it was about Friday or so, maybe Thursday. It was announced in New Zealand that we're going to spend $12.1 billion, which for us that's a lot. It depends on the country. relative to US, it's like nothing. But like, and so it's 4% of GDP, and so there's like huge amount of staff getting laid off and that, and yeah, and then everyone's going into self-isolation for like, probably a lot. It'll probably be like 4 weeks minimum, and some things won't resume till like April earliest, or even June, or perhaps later. And it's been assessed all the time. Constant updates, just non-stop news is just coronavirus. And it's just so weird. Like, it sort of depends. Like, in some aspects, everything's just so quiet. Yet in other things, like a supermarket, it's just bustling. And so hopefully the supermarkets stay open. It's just so strange. It's so strange, and I don't know. I just wanted to make this to just like, what is my experience with it, because 10 years, it'll be fascinating to sort of look back and think, what was it like, and it's not a good time, because there's going to be a lot of people that are going to get, like, that have lost their jobs. There's going to be so many issues. There's going to be people that are dying from it. I think New Zealand has about 100 cases, just over 100 cases as of now, and I don't think anyone in New Zealand has died as of yet. But obviously, I think in Christchurch or Canterbury, there's about 3 cases, and that's out of so there's about 400,000 population. So we've got 3 cases here. New Zealand has a population of about 5 million, just under 5 million, and so we've got about 100 cases in that. So, and the borders are getting like clamped down and all that. So it's so weird. It's so strange, and obviously there's going to be heaps of businesses that go bankrupt. It's terrible what's gonna, the consequences of everything, the coronavirus, and then the economic problems that will come, some people like losing their jobs or losing their businesses, and on the healthcare workers. There's just going to be so much bad stuff happening all at once. So I really, really, really do hope that those, the medical workers, and they totally stay healthy, in that it's and that they find a cure, they find a vaccine and a cure ASAP, and that this can just be over, because it's not good. It's terrible. So hopefully, yeah, it's just so weird to just process it. It's like, I can resonate with some what Casey was saying in terms of like, it's just it's so strange. It's so strange. So yeah, that I don't really know what else, and who knows what will happen tomorrow, if there'll be more announced. I'm sure there will be more announcements. How shut down, like how much will we continue like stopping operations, and all that kind of stuff, as to what's the situation. Are we dropping in cases? Are we increasing in cases? All that kind of stuff. Will come out at a future time. It's just so strange in that. It's just so weird, But So I recommend you check out Casey's video on it, and I highly recommend you check out also Mark Rober's video on it. Mark Rober, he did it. It was about germ spreading and that, and he did it. He did a very incredible, a very helpful video, about the spread of germs and that, and how fast it can be done, but how with certain precautions, hand washing and whatnot, that can slow it down and that, and I came out of after watching Mark Rober's video. I watched his video a few days ago, feeling optimistic, that we will make it through. Obviously there's a lot of problems at the moment, but we will make it through. And I highly recommend you check out his video and Casey Neistat's video. I'll link them both in the. I'll have them as end screen so you can see them. And yeah, I don't really know what else to say. I was just sort of wanted to say from a New Zealand perspective, how things are going in that, and there's new developments all the time, and there's a lot of things going on, a lot of things happening, but eventually we will get on top of this on Corona, and yeah. that's gonna wrap it up. So yeah, make sure follow all the precautions and that and make sure to do the hand washing and all that. And yeah, that's gonna wrap it up. And yeah, stay safe and see you soon.